Am I the a-hole for refusing my husband's help? I recently got into photography because my husband, who is also into it, owns several cameras. However, he stopped taking pictures a year ago. I do not know why, probably because he is not feeling inspired. After trying it myself, I realized I am actually quite good at it. I have been asked to shoot my friends' weddings, graduations, and even had an offer for a local photography exhibition. I enjoy this hobby and told my husband I would like to pursue it further and maybe even turn it into something semi-professional for extra income. He was supportive and said I could borrow his cameras instead of buying my own since I make less money. Here's the issue. He is a mansplainer and attention seeker. At my friend's wedding, where I was asked to photograph, he kept taking the camera from me and started shooting himself. He also mansplained how to take photos and even told me to stop in the middle of me doing my job, rolling his eyes as if I was annoying him. This happened during the wedding speeches, so I ended up not capturing those moments. When reviewing the photos later, he ended up claiming credit for pictures I took. My photos are my art, and I have a different style from his. So this is quite frustrating. More recently, he got a new expensive camera, reigniting his interest in photography. He often takes photos at night, past midnight, and asks me to join him for walks to practice. I always say no, explaining that I am tired, have a full-time job, and do not want to risk going downtown late at night. I also do not enjoy street photography or taking photos of strangers. He keeps pressuring me, saying things like, "You say you want to take pictures, but never want to learn from me." Tomorrow, I am scheduled for a photo shoot and asked if I could borrow his new camera. He agreed, but then started mansplaining how to use it. I told him I was not interested in his unsolicited advice, and he got defensive, repeating that I am not learning from him. At this point, I am confident in my photography skills and camera knowledge. I know I could figure out his new camera easily, and if needed, I could always Google or ask him for help. But I did not want advice. He then said I could not borrow any of his cameras anymore. I responded that these are his cameras, so that is fine. I would rather borrow from others than deal with his mansplaining. That made him angry, and he screamed that he was just trying to be nice by letting me borrow his camera, so he is doing me a favor. He said I should do him a favor in return by learning from him. I understand favors, and I am grateful for him lending me the camera. But I do not want or need his help in this way. The only thing I need is to borrow the camera. I also think it is valid for me to refuse doing him a favor in return if it means losing access to the camera. So, am I the a-hole here? Edit. For context, since many of you raised concerns about our finances. I made the decision to separate our finances, even though I make less money. We have both joint account which is used for shared stuff like rent and bills. But I also want to have my own separate account which we will use for our own personal items. I want to do this because I think even though I am married, I really enjoy having some sort of independence and knowing that I one day will reach a point where I can be financially sufficient enough to be at the same level as him. This makes me feel secure about myself, and he supports this. When it comes to day-to-day life though, he is not stingy and would buy me groceries and help me with any financial support that I need. Edit. Also, the problem is not about whether or not I can borrow his camera, it is the fact that I do not want to learn from him. I have a couple of reasons for this. Learning to figure out a camera and learning more photography skills by myself is a part that I enjoy about photography, and it makes me feel accomplished when I do it by myself. Our photography style is just very different. He likes to take photos raw and put on filters and settings, so he captures the entire photo naturally without having to do editing. Whereas I like to take the photos as is, and I really enjoy the editing part. I feel hesitant learning from him because of his past actions where he mansplained photography to me not in a constructive way, but in a crab mentality way. Make sure to comment what you think, leave a like and follow.